Hello and welcome to a special GCSE revision video, and in this video I'm going to take a little bit of a break from the normal GCSE revision just to explain why we cannot divide by zero. Let's start off by pretending that we can divide by zero. In fact, let's define a word as the quotient of 1 over 0, and let's call it og. I spent all of half a second thinking of that, so don't read too much into it. The symbol, again, I've chosen purely at random, is basically a 0 with a dot in the middle. Now we can divide by 0 because I've just defined 1 over 0 equals og. Okay, so if 1 over 0 equals og, then what happens if we double both sides of the equation? Well, 1 over 0 times 2 is equal to og times 2. So 2 over 0 equals 2 og. 3 over 0 equals 3 og, and so on. This means that x over 0 is equal to x og. Sounds consistent with the rest of mathematics so far. Hey, if this works, I might get international acclaim like Sir Isaac Newton or Albert Einstein or something like that. Maybe I should see if I could still fit into my tux. Okay, I won't dust off the tux just yet though. Okay, so we've established that x over 0 equals x og. However, mathematics has already defined division and multiplication such that if a over b equals c, then a is equal to b times c. And if a is equal to b times c, then a over c equals b. So the question is, will this work for og? Well, if a over b equals c means a is equal to b times c, then x over 0 equals x og means x is equal to 0x og. The only way this is possible is if 0 times og is equal to 1, because anything times 1 is itself. Okay, then, well, let's do some simple maths with this. 3 divided by 0 is equal to 3 og. We've already established that. So that means that 3 is equal to 3 times og times 0. Now, if we divide both sides by 3, we get 3 divided by 3 is equal to og times 0, which means 1 is equal to og times 0. All good so far. I think maybe I will get that tux out after all. Now, mathematics has defined the property of 0 to mean that anything multiplied by 0 is 0. This makes sense. If you have 0 of anything, then you don't have any of those things. But we just said that 0 times og is 1. This is impossible if anything times 0 is 0. Unless, of course, 1 is equal to 0. So to preserve the integrity of og, we must conclude that 1 is equal to 0. But if 1 is equal to 0, and 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, that means that 0 plus 0 is equal to 2, which means that 2 is equal to 0. If 1 is equal to 0 and 2 is equal to 0 and 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, then that means 3 is equal to 0. And by the same reasoning, 4, 5, 6, in fact, all numbers equal 0. OMG, I think I just broke maths. Can we just keep that as our little secret? I don't want to trade my tux for a prison uniform. No matter how cleverly you try to come up with a definition of x over 0, you are going to run into a contradiction. Something like 1 equals 0, 2 equals 0, or 3 equals 2, or something along those lines. Mathematics itself breaks down when we try to divide by 0. Luckily, Sir Isaac Newton came up with a clever way around this involving limits, but you'll learn about this in pre-calculus, but that's beyond the scope of GCSE level mathematics. There's no practicals today because, as we've just seen, we can't divide by 0, so we're not going to try. We don't want to break maths any more than it's already broken. I'd like to wish you all the best with your revision and all the best with your exams. And if you do want to find out more about pre-calculus and limits, there are plenty of YouTube videos out there, but can I strongly advise you not to look at them until after your exams? You've got enough to worry about at the moment with revising for exams. So best of luck with your exams, and I'll see you in another video.